How's it going, everybody? My name is The Starks, and welcome to another Last of Us video. Well, it's finally been announced. The Last of Us Part 1 remake is coming to PC on March of 2023. At the Game Awards, which was on December 8th of 2022, The Last of Us Part 1 was officially announced to be coming to PC on March 3rd, 2023. With a trailer, a dramatic trailer at that, for the Naughty Dog remake. It's worth mentioning that the site says on Game Rant, however, that the footage in the teaser has been captured from the PlayStation 5 version of the game, so it remains to be seen as to what the PC port will actually look like. That said, many will no doubt be excited for another system besides PlayStation will be getting this new iteration of The Last of Us. On Twitter, on the Naughty Dog Info Twitter page, who I do follow here, they post a lot of news and information regarding Naughty Dog specifically. And they state that some info about The Last of Us Part 1 on PC. It's going to cost $60 USD, which in comparison to the PlayStation 5 version is going to be $10 cheaper. It's also being developed in-house by Naughty Dog, unlike other PlayStation quote-unquote exclusive PC ports. It's also going to be available on Steam as well as Epic Games Store, and a Steam Deck compatibility feature is also included for this PC port, which is actually pretty cool. I saw Neil Druckmann, the who's now I think the vice president at Naughty Dog, former creative director of The Last of Us 2013. He quote tweeted a Steam Deck, and somebody was saying it'll be cool to see The Last of Us on this or something like that. And I'm not gonna lie, it would look really cool to see The Last of Us on some form of PlayStation Portable or PlayStation Vita or another form of PlayStation handheld. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the reality anytime soon. I doubt PlayStation will ever release another handheld. But yeah, I mean, it's official. The Last of Us Part 1 coming to PC. I think that was announced a while back. I've been on the fence regarding Sony quote-unquote exclusives going on PC for a long time now, over a year. As this shift in their culture is kind of they're adapting to a new market of or a wave of PC gamers, because they understand that the market is large and that there's a lot of people that play on PC. And you know, if they can double dip and get more money, why not, right? I mean, they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Why not get more money? So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen next year, March 2023. I think for me though, as a fan of the brand PlayStation and a fan of what they do, is that The Last of Us Part 1 remake released in September of 2022. March is within it's less than a year. It's within 6 months of a PlayStation 5 exclusive video game. Actually, it might not just be PlayStation 5. Actually, it is PlayStation 5. Or I don't think the remake could be playable on PlayStation 4. I didn't do my research on that. I don't have a PlayStation 4 anymore, or I do, but I don't play it. So I actually don't know if the remake is on PS4, but I don't believe it is. Point is, 6 months after the release of a Last of Us remake of a first party PlayStation game going on PC 6 months later, I thought Herman Holst, I'm pretty sure he said, yeah, we're gonna wait a year. We're gonna wait a year. PlayStation, they said they were gonna wait a year, and they're not. They're not waiting a year. I mean, they want their money. They want more money. They're just greedy. And I've said this in the past. As a fan of the PlayStation brand, I do not, and I seriously mean this, I do not believe that releasing and launching, producing these otherwise first party exclusive video games, releasing them on PlayStation consoles, only to have them released within 6 to 12 months of their launch on another platform, that being PC, which by the way is supported by their competitors, Microsoft, is absolutely fucking wild. And I don't think there's enough convincing or online bullying people can do to make me think otherwise. There just isn't. And I say bullying because, my past Uncharted 4 video, I got a bunch of ridiculous comments, which, by the way, I will not be entertaining in this video. I think there's a respectful way to speak to people. And the internet shies away from that concept for some reason. They just like to pick on people and make fun, and I'm not going to entertain that in any of my comments. So there are people that are upset that I have this opinion. I suggest you say something nice or respectful at least, because otherwise it'll be flagged and you'll be blocked from ever commenting on my channel. I think there's people who are encouraging this, and that's okay. I have no issue with these people who are fine with these PlayStation games going on PC. I have no issue with people playing video games. No issue at all. But I understand and value Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation and the brands, okay? Just as I do Adidas or Nike or Walmart and Amazon. These are brands, okay? And I think that's what people aren't understanding. It's like, imagine, Nintendo releases an otherwise first party exclusive game like Breath of the Wild, and 6 months later or 6 to a year later it's going on PC. And I know people are going to argue with me about the fact that The Last of Us is a 2013 IP. That's true. It launched almost a decade ago. Next year will mark 10 years since the launch of The Last of Us on PlayStation 3. But The Last of Us Remake is not a 2013 game. It is a video game that Naughty Dog took the dedication and time to remake, which, by the way, I was also not encouraging, because I didn't think we need a remake. Sure, now that I've played it, it's wonderful, and I like it, and it's everything that matches The Last of Us Part 2, which is what they were aiming for, but I still don't think it was necessary at all. I think they could have spent the resources a little bit more effectively, which I imagine they are with The Last of Us Factions and this supposed new IP, and perhaps even an Uncharted reboot or remake, which I don't think Naughty Dog is even working on anyway. But that The Last of Us Part 1 remake is a new video game that they graphical upgrades and gameplay improvements and everything else named in The Last of Us Part 1 remake description on Google, which you can clearly find on the internet, is that it released in September on the PlayStation 5 console, and 6 months later, in March of 2023, it is releasing on PC. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but that's ridiculous. And I'm speaking specifically to people, console owners. I'm not talking to the PC guys, because they don't understand the way console operates. But I've said this in the past with my Uncharted 4 video, it may in fact devalue the brand. I'm not talking about financials here and the economics within a multi-billion-dollar corporation. If they think releasing video games on PC is going to generate more money, which it is for them, and the studios involved, good for them. Absolutely. I mean, great. But I'm not talking about financials. I'm a consumer, and I'm talking about the brand. I bought a PlayStation 5 to support the brand, the video games in which they're making for the brand, the features in which are present in the PlayStation 5 because of the brand. It's a brand. Everything is a brand. So it's just hilarious to me that specifically people on Twitter, on YouTube, comment sections, and elsewhere are calling people who like myself, who have this opinion, which by the way is a minority, I will admit, is that we're upset that we don't want people to play video games and all this other ridiculous nonsense. I mean, no. I mean, let's be real here. I think with 6 months after the release of a PlayStation exclusive, first party exclusive game going on PC is just it's just unfathomable to me. It's just I can't understand it. I don't understand it. But then I kind of do. Like I said, Sony PlayStation is a Sony specifically is a multi-billion-dollar company, and I think they're gearing up for The Last of Us Factions. I think this is going to be the norm, that PlayStation games are going to go on PC. I've already accepted it. There's not much I can do to not accept it. There isn't anything I can do to accept it. I have to accept it, and I will, and I have been. That doesn't mean I can't voice my concerns and opinions, which I will always do, especially as a fan of the brand PlayStation as well as a fan of Naughty Dog. But something that I think PlayStation is gearing up for, specifically Naughty Dog, is The Last of Us Factions, which I don't believe is going to be a PlayStation-only video game. I think The Last of Us Factions, this ambitious multiplayer title that they're working so beautifully on, is that it's going to release simultaneously on PC, or maybe not simultaneously, but will eventually come maybe a month later onto PC. It's going to be like a PlayStation only for the first month and then PC. because I think it's going to be a great game, and I think that's what they want, is to have a lot of people play this video game, and obviously for the title to be successful. But I'm obviously curious to know what everybody's thoughts and opinions regarding The Last of Us Part 1 remake. Did you play it? If so, how did you enjoy it? I know I played it. I haven't completed it, but I have played it. And I want to know what your guys' thoughts on The Last of Us Part 1 and other PlayStation first-party video games going on PC are. Like, do you agree with it? Do you think Sony should wait more than 6 months? Do you think they should wait less than 6 months? Do you think they should wait a year before putting these games on PC? Do you think God of War Ragnarok should go on PC? Which, by the way, I think it will eventually. Let me know in the comment section below, of course. And I have been the Starks. Peace.